Hey guys, Rebekah and Aisea here. Just have a quick announcement for you guys with some things that are coming up in our lives that we wanted to make sure we share with our friends and our families. The big thing is that God is closing the season for us here in Stephenville, and we will be moving back towards the Metroplex.
Finally, the Rock has come back!
Not sure fully on the time yet, but we are excited. You know, it was almost 2 years ago when God moved us out here to Stephenville. We didn't know anybody here. We literally moved here to work at Timber Ridge Church for that opportunity in ministry there, and really there's no ties for Rebekah and I to this area, but we have loved it. There has been, we've had our ups, we've had our downs. We did COVID out here, and so we've learned a lot in our time here, and we are extremely grateful. But the thing is, we've grown a lot, but our family is actually growing.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. So we're having our first child this year, due in October, and we are excited for that. With that, though, we've been talking about this, and something that God has laid on our heart is the desire to really raise and begin our family a little bit closer to family and our friends back in the Metroplex. For those of y'all who don't know, most of my family lives in the Metroplex, and it's actually a lot closer to be able to, go and see Rebekah's family, and that's just something that's really big for us.
I'm looking forward to being around so many coffee shops in the Metroplex and being able to try new places, new restaurants, local places. We love the restaurants here in Stephenville, but it'll be nice to have some more options.
I know for me, the biggest thing that I'm going to miss from here has just been my time at Timber Ridge Church, whether it be college ministry, youth ministry, online stuff. I have learned so much from our time here at Timber Ridge, and it's things that I'm going to take with me wherever we end up, not just in ministry, but just in life. And so I know one of the hardest things for me is going to be leaving my students. And so we announced that to our student ministry last night, that we will be transitioning out. And it was just one of those, I was holding back tears the whole entire time because I'm going to miss them. I'm going to miss them so much.
For me personally, the biggest thing that I'm going to miss is just my piano students, and growing my studio over the past year and a half has been such an incredible blessing, one that I definitely don't take for granted, and I'm just very grateful for the way that God has blessed our studio and just allowed me to do what I do and to do what I love, which is teaching. So I'll definitely miss all of my students here.
So as far as the transition, we don't really have all the answers yet. We don't know when our last week in Stephenville will be. We don't necessarily know where we're moving to or even when we're moving, but the transition has begun. And so our last week, for those of you who know us at Timber Ridge, I would love to see you guys this Sunday. This will be our last Sunday at the church. It's Mother's Day. We're going to have a blast. I would love to see all you guys there just to be sure and say goodbye. We'll continue to work through next week at the church and finish up all of our obligations, but then that'll allow us to start looking elsewhere as far as where we're going to move.
Since we don't have a concrete timeline of when we're moving and what's happening, I'm just going to continue teaching as long as I can. And once we have more of an idea of what's happening, I'll let my students know and kind of phase out of teaching students. But studio is still open and still running full force.
So that's the big news. We're going to be moving. We're going to be heading back towards the Metroplex to start our family. And so we hope that you guys would pray for us in this time, just for all the unknowns and all the questions that we still have, all the things that need to be all things that need to happen, really, whether it be a job or where we're going to live and stuff like that. And honestly, the best way, if you want to stay up to date with what's going on, would be just to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're going to start vlogging on here on a regular basis. So if you want to know where we end up, what church we end up at, what we're doing with our new studio once we get that started.
Piper's 5th birthday.
Yeah, if you want to follow Piper's 5th birthday, see all that kind of stuff. We're going to start vlogging on a regular basis, and so it's going to be fun. So subscribe to this YouTube channel just to see what's going on in our lives and keep up. But please be praying for us. That's the biggest thing we would ask at this time. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out to Rebekah and I to have those conversations. But we love you guys. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and we'll see you later.